Hey guys, it's Pamphlet. Today I'm going to show you how I made some of my Order of the Lotus Irelia cosplay. Here I have her blade and her hip armor. So today I'm going to show you how to make this piece of her hip armor. It's just as a little quick tutorial to get you started. First you're going to want to measure yourself. You could do that two different ways. You could measure yourself with measuring tape and then transfer it to paper, or you could wrap yourself in saran wrap and then tape and cut it out, and you have kind of a body cast for yourself. I usually just eyeball it. If you're not comfortable with that, then I'd suggest one of those two methods. So first we're gonna draw out the pattern. What you're gonna want to do is get as many references as you can of your character or whatever you're cosplaying and blow up that part that you're doing. So we're going to draw it out. Alright, that's basically the pattern. If you don't like how it comes out, make sure you fix it. Fix whatever you want to fix. If you like it, then it's time to cut it out.
Show the pattern.
Here's the pattern, by the way. So the next step is to cut it. Now, if you're dealing with something that is symmetrical, then I would say fold the paper in half so you can cut it. You can cut both sides at the same time and they'll come out perfectly symmetrical. But this is a very organic shape, so we can't do that.
Okay.
So after you draw out your pattern, you're going to go to the next step, which is transferring it to craft foam. Yay! So there's different types of craft foam, different thicknesses. This one right here is a little bit thin. It's pretty thin. It's about 1/4 of an inch, maybe less. Then the next size up would be this one, which is about 1/2 inch. And after that is the puzzle piece foam that I'm always using. And you guys usually ask me the most questions about this one. You can get it online, or you can get it near you at your local home improvement store. It usually comes in a 4-pack for $20. Not too bad. I mean, you can make a lot of stuff out of this. It's about 1 inch thick. There's the thickness. These you can get at your local hobby and craft store. I have a Michael's near me that I get it from. You could even get it at Joann's if you have a Joann's near you. It's pretty cheap. It's like 80 cents per piece. Also, this thin one right here is one that I really like to use. It's got a sticky back on it. So you can, this is how I make my details. Make the details, cut them out, stick them on. So what we're going to do is transfer this to the piece of foam. Now normally I would use this thickness, but again it's up to you what kind of thickness you want. I generally use this one a lot, but since I don't have enough room for this big piece, I'm going to use the thinner one. So you're going to want to lay this flat on your thing, and you're going to want to use a ballpoint pen to trace it, because you're basically just carving it into the foam. Okay, so there's your shape. You don't have all the designs yet. This part we're going to be cutting out, so we're going to want to carve this part in. And I'm not going to carve the rest of the details, I don't think, because I'm going to be using the sticky foam, which I hope I have enough of. So let's cut this out. So now we're going to do the details on the sticky foam. And what you're going to do is trace out the pattern on the sticky foam. Alright. So now, cut it out, and you're going to cut out each piece and then separately stick them on. Now you peel the sticky back from the foam and you put the foam on your other piece. You want to get it pretty close to how it is, otherwise it's going to look pretty silly. And you can like fix it up if it doesn't come out right as well. So, as you can see, mine's kind of off. So you're gonna want to cut it. To perfect it. Okay. And then we're gonna continue to cut out pieces. Just do them one at a time so you don't get mixed up. That's where it goes. And peel it again. Like so. Got stuck on this one. Okay. And I like to put a little bit of a difference in between because it kind of gives it a cool looking effect. That's how I did mine over there. And proceed to cut out pieces. Now, usually you only do this for parts that you want raised. And in the picture, it looks like these parts are raised, so that's why I'm doing it. Alright, so there we have it. That is your piece. It's ready to go. And there's a couple routes you can take after you get your final piece. So for this I used Plasti Dip as the in-between, and for the actual belt I used Warbla. So for this piece it was Warbla. Warbla is this stuff right here. It's a thermoplastic that you can buy online at cosplaysupplies.com. It's pretty easy to work with. All you have to do is heat it up with a heat gun, not a blow dryer. Doesn't work. Have to use a heat gun. And it becomes really flimsy. Right now it's kind of sturdy, but it becomes really flimsy and you can mold it kind of thing. And basically you just set it, heat it, and it just kind of, you just press it in there and it gets the details. That's how I got all these raised parts and stuff like that. But for this tutorial, we're gonna do the Plasti Dip method from this. And I like this better than Warbla right now. This is something new I discovered, I guess, from other cosplayers. They use Plasti Dip and it's really cool, which I'll be showing you what it is later. So now we're gonna head out and Plasti Dip. Alright, so on to the next step. This is Plasti Dip, which you can get at your local home improvement store, like Home Depot for instance. That's what I have here. It's basically a spray-on rubber coating. It's pretty cheap, it's only $6 a can. It's not bad. I used to use wood glue, and this stuff definitely tops that because you only have to do 1 or 2 layers, maybe 3. Wood glue you had to do so many, and it took so much time. This takes 4 hours to dry and you're done. So we're gonna spray it. So after 4 hours your piece will be dry, and if you did it right it'll be smooth. Kind of did that quick, so we got not so smooth. When you spray it you want it to be really glossy. I don't normally do it outside, I usually do it in my garage. I just did it outside for video purposes. So usually if there's no wind, then you can do it outside, but if there's wind you're gonna get bubbles and that's not gonna look good. So after this step though, we go on to spray painting. Also, I forgot to mention that the sticky foam likes to come off of the foam, so I like to hot glue it back down, just so that it doesn't come up anymore, and then usually I'll put on another layer of Plasti Dip. Alright, so our piece has been spray painted, and it looks pretty bland, right? Nice and flat. So now we're going to want to add some depth by weathering it. And weathering is basically making it look like it's been through a battle or used. And what you're going to need is some black acrylic paint, paintbrush, and a paper towel. Alright, so you're gonna pour out some black. And a lot of people like to mix it with water. I don't, because I like the more dramatic look. As you can see, I used a more dramatic look for that. So pick a place to start and just start with like the crevices, I guess. And then you wipe it away with a paper towel to blend it. Alright, so you're gonna weather your piece completely, which I'm not gonna finish this one, but by the end, when you're done, it should look something like this, or like these. These are my Order of the Lotus Irelia sleeves, or the back piece right here, and what I showed you in the beginning, her blade. And that's basically it. That's pretty much how I do all of my props. It's just kind of time consuming because you have to cut out all the pieces and whatnot. But in the end, you get some good results, and I'm really happy with these. They don't have the gems yet. I have to make those still. But pretty much it's almost done. And that's all. Make sure you stay safe out there on the Rift, and make sure you get an airsuit! And also, make sure to click the buttons below and subscribe and like this video, and especially if you want to see more tutorials, I'll be making more in the future, so make sure you subscribe. Thanks! Boomer Chan, do you want to go outside? I'm gonna put your ass out. Oh, dicks now. Look, Boomer, come here.